Hello boys and girls, and welcome to lesson 1-8, unsquaring numbers. In order for us to understand what we mean by unsquaring number, we have to read this message above here. You know that 6 to the power of 2, or 6 squared, equals 6 times 6, which equals 36. The number 36 is called the square of 6. If you unsquare 36, the result is 6. The number 6 is called the square root of 36. So let's count some square numbers. We made a list of square numbers previously, but here let's do it again. We have 1, 4, what would be 3 times 3? 9. 4 times 4? 16. 5 times 5? 25. 6 times 6, 36, and so on. All of these are square numbers, which means two factors that are exactly the same made this number. So for example, we know that 1 times 1 made 1, so 1 squared. And 2 times 2 is 4, so 4, and so on. And 3 times 3, so 3 squared. But we don't actually write the square. What we do write is we write the numbers. For example, if I ask you what is the square or the square root, of 49. So I give you the number 49. You have to think of a number that multiplies into itself to give you 49. Well, the square root would be 7. That's the square root. Okay? We do not write 7 squared. We only write the number 7. Okay, so take away that 2. That would be called the square root. Okay, and if I tell you what is the square root? If you please square 7, you will square it with the 2, and that'll give you 49. Okay, let's take a look at number 1. So here, boys and girls, we have the square numbers. Okay, these are products. So we had to multiply a number into itself to get to 25. Well, you can work your way up to 10 times 10 is 100, 11 times 11 is 121, 12 times 12 is 144, and so on. Keep going until you find out one of the two numbers that will multiply into itself, or one number multiplied into itself will give you 225. If you're thinking 15, you are correct. 15 times 15 will give you 225. Okay. So what is the square root of 225? 15. Okay, I hope you can see that. I know I'm writing with white. I should be writing with black. Okay, and so on. Do the same with 729. Okay, what number multiplied into itself will give you 729? You can play around with a calculator, or you can simply continue moving up, where I just said you do 11 times 11. 12 times 12, 13 times 13. Keep playing with the calculator until you get to it. I can share this answer with you. This one would be 27. 27 times 27 is 729. So what is the square root? Please go ahead and write it down. For here, I'll give you a hint. What two numbers, or what number multiplied into itself will give you 16? Okay, it's a number that you multiply to itself, give you 16. Add a 0 to that number, because then it'll be that number multiplied into itself with each one with a 0, and that'll give you the 2 zeros missing there. Okay, we'll check that one in class tomorrow. Continue on with 361. What is the square root of 361? What number multiplied into itself will give you 361? For number 2, we are asked, which of the following are square numbers? Circle them. A way to find this out is by making a factor rainbow. So let's try with 576. Okay? A factor rainbow with 576 looks like this. We have 1 times 576, right? That's our first one right there. 1 times 576. And then it's an even number, right? So we know it's divisible by 2. So it's 2 And, well, you can divide this by 2 in your calculators, but you'll find that it's 288. So we draw the line. The next line. There it is. That's part of the rainbow. Is it divisible by 3? Well, let's think about the divisibility rule for 3. The sum of all 3 numbers. 5 plus 7 is 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 is divisible by 3. So yes, it must be divisible by 3. Go ahead and use your calculator to divide that by 3, and you should have 192. Okay? Is it divisible by 4? Well, are the last 2 numbers divisible by 4? Well, let's see. 76 divided by 4 is actually 19. 19 times 4 is 76. So yes, this will be divisible by 4. 576 divided by 4 is 144. Okay? I'm going to run out of room to continue. I know it is not divisible by 5 because this does not end in a 5 or 0. It's also not divisible by 10. But I will continue with divisibility rules of 6. Is it divisible by 2 and 3? Yes, it is divisible also by 6 because it's divisible by 2 and it's divisible by 3. So it would be 6 and 96. So 6 times 96. Sorry, my rainbow is starting to look really messy, but we have to try until we finally get to the middle number. Okay, the middle number to find out what number into itself. So this is going to be a very long rainbow, but continue doing this until you find if 576 is divisible. If 576 is a square number. So you'll get to the middle of the rainbow and you'll find that a number multiplies into itself. Eventually, as you continue with the factor rainbow, you'll find that 24 is also a factor. And when you divide 576 divided by 24, you will also get 24. Okay? So, yes, 24 squared is 576. So that's one you can circle. Another hint here. What 2 numbers do you have to multiply to get 64? What 2 numbers to get 64? Okay? And then just make sure that you add a 0 to that number so that you can add the 2 zeros to your product. Continuing on. For question 3, 4, 5, and 6, we are asked to make a factor rainbow to fill in the missing numbers. So I think you can make your own factor rainbow for 49. It's really not that hard because the only other factor of 49 is 7. So it would be 1, 7, and 49. Okay? And the square root would be 7. Let me help you here with one of the hardest ones. I will help you with 100. Okay? For 100, let's start. We have 1 and 100. Correct? There's our first line. 2 and 50. There's our second line. 100 is not divisible by 3, but it is divisible by 4. 4 and 25. Okay. It's also divisible by 5 because it ends in a 0. So 5 and 20. Okay. And then 10 times 10. You don't have to write the 10 down twice, just 10 times 10. So there's our answer right there. 10 squared equals 100. So the square root of 100 is 10. Okay, boys and girls, make sure that you have this written like this. Include the 2 stars so that I know that you watched the video. Go ahead and try 64 and 81 on your own, just the way I did 100. See you in class.